Now, with the collapse of the government in the Himalayan nation, the Nepali army has now officially taken over law and order responsibilities across the country. Troops have been deployed in large numbers throughout the capital city, Kathmandu, and other protest-hit areas as well. And this as Nepal reels under its most intense youth-led uprising in decades. Now, viewers, this move comes as Gen Z-driven protests spiraled into full-scale unrest, leading to the resignation of Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli and shortly after President Ramchandra Paudel as well. In fact, Gen Z has now taken a U-turn. The protesters are now saying that they are not the ones behind the violence in the country. In fact, they have distanced themselves from the violence. And at the center of this crisis, viewers, is a movement which is fueled by anger over corruption, political stagnation and recent censorship efforts, including a now revoked social media ban. So what essentially began as demonstrations quickly escalated into coordinated attacks on government buildings, party offices and every symbol that basically represented power or authority in the country. And the scale of the destruction is unprecedented in Nepal. Protesters stormed and set fire to federal parliament, the Prime Minister's residence and parts of the Singha Darbar as well. In fact, in Kathmandu, media houses, shopping complexes, luxury hotels like Hilton and Aloft also were targeted by these protesters. Now, in one of the most tragic incidents, in fact, a former Prime Minister of Nepal, Jhalanath Khanal's wife, lost her life, and this is after their family home was set on fire by the protesters. Now, when we talk about the injuries, over 500 people have been injured in these violent clashes, and the death toll has now crossed 19 according to local officials. The army's presence is now visible across the capital, with curfews in effect and key government installations secured. Of course, given how the protesters have been rampaging these government buildings, security has been ramped up around these areas. Military vehicles are now patrolling the streets, and this is as the leadership attempts to stabilize a collapsing political order in Nepal. In fact, the unrest has also triggered alarm across the border. In Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, towns near the India-Nepal border have come to a standstill. Local markets are deserted, checkpoints have been tightened, and even flights to and from Kathmandu remain suspended as of now. Now, the Indian government has also issued a formal travel advisory asking citizens to avoid non-essential travel to Nepal right now. Nice. Meanwhile, Nepalese students in India, they've also reportedly they've cancelled their plans to return home, citing security concerns, and given how the situation has been unfolding in their country, many are anxious. They are monitoring the situation, and currently they have cancelled their plans to go back home. And now, as the army appeals for calm and urges protesters to engage in dialogue, to talk about the issues that they have been raising concerns and not take the path of violence. The big question, viewers, will Nepal's youth agree to come to the table, or is it the country right now heading for deeper instability? With both civilian and political leadership gone, in fact, at this point, Nepal's future now rests in the hands of these young people who participated in these protests, and also the soldiers right now who are guarding the country, who are the ones who are basically securing these crucial institutions that represents Nepal's democracy at this point. So that's the latest updates we're getting in with regards to how the crisis is unfolding in Nepal right now. Remember, these protests began over corruption, over social media ban, and now it has escalated to this level that you have the Prime Minister, you have the President, both of them resigning, several cabinet ministers as well, and now the army has taken control of the situation. We also have a few ground reports from Nepal. Let's take a look at that.
संसद भवन के परिसर के अंदर आ गए हैं और जनाक्रोश ऐसा है कि पूरा परिसर कैसे चल रहा है, कोई आग बुझाने वाला भी नहीं है। बहुत बुरे हालात में नेपाल और बाहर देखिए जश्न मनाते हुए लोग यहाँ पर पूरा परिसर चल रहा है। ये मंत्रियों के आने जाने का वो रूट था, उसको जला दिया गया है, तोड़ गए। सीढ़ियाँ देख लीजिए, बाहर का एक बार परिसर का नजारा देखिए, बाहर लोग, वहां पर आग, और इस एंट्रेंस में जहां से मंत्री जाते थे, उस एंट्रेंस को कैसे आग के हवाले किया गया है। ये अपने आप में ये किसी भी देश के इतिहास के लिए काला अध्याय ही कहा जाएगा। से पूरी फॉल सीलिंग नीचे आ गई है, पूरा फर्नीचर जल गया है, रह रहकर धुआं पड़ रहा है। इस वक्त आप समझ लीजिए कि बहुत बुरे हालात से नेपाल गुजर रहा है और जिन पर सुरक्षा की जिम्मेदारी थी वो लोग यहाँ से छोड़कर भाग गए हैं और लोकतंत्र का मंदिर रहने का प्रयास हो रहा है। ऊपर से मामा गिर रहा है, आग बढ़ती जा रही है। अंदर जाना चाहते थे ताकि कुछ और तस्वीरें दिखा पाए, लेकिन आज इतनी ज्यादा और आग बढ़ती जा रही है, यहाँ रुकना खतरे से खाली नहीं है।
So these are the visuals showing you the aftermath that was caused by the recent protests that rocked Nepal. In fact, remember, within just 36 hours, the government in Nepal was toppled by these protesters who claim that they are not being meted out the credits they should be given out of this government. Remember, political instability has been a primary factor of Nepal's polity. Within about 14 years, you've had multiple governments come to power and then change. And now the youth of the country is demanding political accountability and political stability. And for that, these protests began essentially with that ban, social media ban that was put in place, and then it escalated to violent demonstrations happening across the country, several leaders getting beaten up by these protesters. In fact, former Prime Minister's wife getting killed as well. In fact, she was burnt alive by these protesters, and now it has escalated to a level that the army in Nepal has taken over. It's looking after the law and order situation. Let's also listen in as to what the army chief of the country has to say on these developments.
नेपालको इतिहासदेखि नै
The Army appeals to all citizens to maintain peace and security. The Army has also expressed its regret over damage to public property during the demonstrations. The Nepal Army is always committed to the safety and security of Nepal and its people, and is fully dedicated to protecting lives and property in the current situation. The Army emphasizes that the protection of public assets, including historical, cultural, and national heritage, is a shared responsibility. It urges the citizens to act with restraint and preserve social harmony and national unity amid the ongoing unrest.
So this is essentially what the army in the country is saying. They're urging protesters to have a dialogue, to come back to the negotiating table and take the path of peace instead of violence. And now, viewers, as Nepal is in political turmoil and the place for the country's next leader is up for grabs, the question is, this political vacuum that has been now left in the Himalayan country, it's going to be filled, but who is going to fill it? Let's walk you through the crucial options that we have on the table. First up, Rabi Labichhane, chairperson of Rashtriya Swatantra Party and a former TV journalist. Now, he's being touted as the possible next Prime Minister of Nepal. In fact, despite facing arrest in a cooperative savings case, Labichhane is projected as a clean and decisive alternative to Nepal's traditional political elite. Remember, this is what youngsters have been protesting against, traditional political elite. Now, his support largely comes from the youth, students, unemployed, and also the urban middle class here. He also enjoys strong backing from the Nepali diaspora and social media networks. In fact, his recent move to have about 21 RSP MPs resign is being seen as a major political power play. Now, next up is Balendra Shah, rapper turned politician and current mayor of Kathmandu. Now, he's another figure who's rising in Nepal's politics. He was elected as an independent candidate in 2022. The former structural engineer, in fact, rose to prominence to Nepal's hip-hop scene, often voicing concerns over corruption and inequality prevailing in Nepal. Now, as a mayor, Shah has won popularity for his action-driven governance, for tackling waste, traffic, and also transparency issues in the capital. So remember, these are very basic issues, but these are the issues that speak volumes, that resonate with people on the ground. And now seen as a fresh symbol of change, he commands a strong support among Nepal's youth and Gen Z as well. Remember, he's somebody who supported these violent protests initially, but then later requested these protesters to give up violence. So Shah recently threw his weight behind the protests as well, and he is somebody who's been standing against corruption, this very social media ban as well. So definitely he's somebody who has appeal among the youngsters. Now, in fact, Prime Minister Modi also expressed a deep anguish over the violence in Nepal, which has tragically, as I said before, claimed about 19 lives. It has led to the resignation of the Prime Minister. And now, after returning from a visit to flood-hit regions in Punjab and Himachal Pradesh in India, Prime Minister Modi yesterday chaired a cabinet committee on security meeting. And this was to discuss the unrest that's unfolding in Nepal. And calling the violence heartbreaking, Prime Minister Modi stressed that Nepal's stability, peace and prosperity are of utmost importance to India. In fact, he also appealed to the people of Nepal to maintain calm and order amidst the ongoing turmoil. And as Nepal navigates this crisis, the whole world is watching closely, hoping for stability and peace. And this is what the Indian Prime Minister has also urged for essentially. So this is the latest statement that we're getting in from the Indian Prime Minister, who has now expressed his anguish about the lives which have been lost in the recent protests in Nepal. He's also urged for peace and calm. Remember, stability in South Asia is crucial for India as well. So an unstable Nepal, which will mean problems for India as well. We share a border. We have so many ties that span across different sectors. So a stable Nepal is crucial for India as well. Prime Minister now stepping in, reacting to the situation, what's unfolding in the country, saying that, expressing his anguish over the lives that have been lost and also urging for peace and calm in the country. We're getting you the statement from the Prime Minister. In fact, on your screen right now, remember this was after Prime Minister Modi visited the flood-hit areas of Punjab and Himachal in the country, and then he chaired a CCS meet on Nepal. He discussed the issues with his cabinet ministers about what's unfolding in Nepal, how this could impact India, what India's strategy should be. In fact, after the meet, Prime Minister Modi also took to social media to say, and I quote him here, he called the violence heartbreaking. He also stressed that Nepal's stability, peace and prosperity, they are of utmost importance to India.